Welcome, everyone. On the podcast today, we got a special guest stopping by today. Mr. D in the house today. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Lovely.
Hey, man,
Awesome.
thanks for stopping by the podcast,
Yeah,
man.
anytime. Anything for you, brother. You know.
Hey, man, I know it's been a long time coming, man. I knew we was going to make it happen one day, bro.
Yeah. We just seemed like we just talked about it yesterday, man, and here it is.
Yeah, for sure, man. But, man, thank you, man. I definitely appreciate you stopping by, taking time to drop some gems, man, and, tell your story from your perspective. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I always try to encourage all brothers to do that, man. D, what do you go by, man?
So, go by many names.
Okay, many names.
So, Dimethus Jawad Thompson.
Okay.
Never went by my first name, Dimethus, until I came into the military. Family and friends that I grew up with call me Jawad. So
okay.
If I ever hear anyone call that's family.
You know they
family.
family.
Grew up with someone from South Carolina. Shout out beautiful South Carolina, St. Helena Island, Gullah Geechee.
I like that.
So any of y'all out there, But for the most part, it's either JT, D. You call me Meek, so I'm like, you the only one that calls me that. That's all right, that's Trav. So it's just like, just D, JT, something simple, Thompson, prior military.
I like that.
But other than that, I'm comfortable with going with Dimethus.
Okay.
Because a lot of people, it's unique. I want to say me and my son are the only two that got that name.
Wow. Okay.
So,
he's a junior.
Yeah, he's a junior.
Okay.
He's a junior, and it was one of those things that got me using it. Was when he was growing up, when he was young, kids used to like make fun of his name. So
okay.
It was like one of those things. So now don't let people play with your name like
That's
that.
right.
You tell them what your name is, even the teachers. You like, no, my name is Dimethus.
Mm-hmm.
People call him DJ, but that's his friends. I said, no, you make them call you by your name.
I like that.
That's what it is.
I like that.
But it made me start using it more too.
For sure, man. Embrace who you are, man.
Yeah.
That's your name, man. Like you said, that's your name. I saw one of the NFL players the other day. He was coming off the field, and one of the kids was like making fun of his name, and he actually stopped and said, "Hey, what did you say?" He said, "No, my name is this." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I thought that was pretty dope, man. Yeah, don't let people play with your name. Your name is who you are.
Yeah, and you don't gotta be malicious with it, coming at people like, nah, at the end of the day, because some people by nature, to them it's fun and jokes, but you could come at people on the way to be like, hey, listen, this is my name, this is how you say it.
There you go.
Even me, I mess people's names up all the time, and I'd be like, I'm sorry, did I say that correctly?
Mm-hmm.
Or if I see a name tag, I could be in Food Line, McDonald's, whatever, like, can you pronounce that for me?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm like, oh, okay, that's,
Yeah.
So, it's a respect thing more than anything.
For sure. And it's unique, man. Your name is unique, man. Well, I like that, though. D, you want to introduce yourself as anything else, man? To our podcast followers?
Yeah. So I thought you was going to give me the rundown like Shannon Sharp do when he do that whole
yes,
list. I said, but that might be my fault because I didn't I didn't give you the list of things.
Yeah, you didn't text ahead.
Yeah.
All your accomplishments.
Yeah. You got to have the tongue to say it the way he says it. But now, Dimethus Thompson, 46 years of age, born and raised Beaufort, South Carolina, country boy, low country boy at that, not country, low country. I grew up on the water, salt water, grew up on the islands, coastal islands of South Carolina. Man, just like any typical kid, man, grew up in the country, got away from home, did military, joined the military at 17. Military for 9 years, traveled the world, got out. Army is what brought me to Virginia.
Okay.
Fort Story.
We never talked about that, but I always assumed the military is what brought you to Virginia.
Yeah. The military is what brought me to Virginia, Fort Story. And it's crazy, one of my worst duty stations ever. Love Virginia, but then hated it as a duty station.
Gotcha.
I was mechanized infantry. 9 years, got out, did 14 years as an Army contractor overseas. So did that for a strong 14 years, and then here it is now, longshoreman, working at the port. I'm hitting 11 years now.
Okay. Okay.
So I
Time
got some,
flat on it, man.
Yeah. I got some years. I got some experience under my belt.
For sure, man. And like I say, time flies so fast, man.
Yeah.
You
And I add too real quick. Been married for 20, divorced,
Okay.
2 kids, a daughter. She's 28. My son, he's 22. You know, both college graduates doing their thing. Son is in the Marines, officer. So, you know, yeah, I'm happy.
That's what's
I'm
up,
all right.
man. I like it, bro. I like it, man. Hey, D, how would you describe your childhood, man?
Shit, my childhood was awesome.
Okay.
It was awesome, but it was traumatic in a way also too.
Explain that to me.
So it was awesome because I grew up like any other kid. Like I was an outside kid. I did like what boys did. I did boy stuff.
Yeah.
Played outside, fish, hunt,
Running through the woods.
chase girls, cars, drove cars, tractors. I mean, you know, like any other. Well, I can't speak for any other, but I'm just like, to me, it was like a typical thing for kids. Like kids.
It was a way of life. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, it was the country where it didn't really have too much to offer. You know, and I realized that as an adult. You know?
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Becoming an adult, I realized that, like, you know, there's nothing like I got to start thinking about what I'm going to do after high school. So I kind of got into that a little early.
Mm-hmm. And you say it's Beaufort, South Carolina?
Beaufort, South Carolina.
Okay. Where is that close to? Savannah.
Hilton Head. Like, if you look at South Carolina, we're right there on the tip.
Going into Georgia?
Going into Georgia, you got the bridge. Savannah's right there.
Yeah.
Like, literally, it's like Savannah, Beaufort is like right there by each other.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And for people like Hilton Head, I always say Hilton Head because people know Hilton Head, big golf area.
Gotcha.
Charleston.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Low country area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I like that, man. Hey, did you grow up with your mom and your dad, man?
I did. I grew up with both parents. Majority of my young adult, young child life, I grew up until I got to high school. And then, you know, that's when they parted ways, got a divorce.
Your mom and dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that, man. So, and you stayed with your mom or you stayed with your dad?
I stayed with my dad.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
your dad raised you through after him and your mom divorced?
Yes and no.
Okay. Talk to me.
No. So this is unique. So I grew up. So where I grew up at, when you know how they say it takes a village to raise a family.
Yes.
That's literally how I grew up. So I have a family estate, Thompson Estate.
Okay.
On St. Helena Island. So it's pretty much like a family compound.
Gotcha.
Homestead. So it's
you have
family
like all around you.
Yeah, so our house is here. Then I got an aunt here, uncle here, aunt, everyone like within walking distance. Mm-hmm. So we never went hungry, whatever. So it was just like, you know, literally a village.
For sure.
My parents did get a divorce. I mentioned that.
Okay.
But the crazy thing about it is like when they got a divorce, my dad got into a motorcycle like my freshman year of high school. He got into an accident, bad motorcycle accident, was paralyzed.
Oh, okay.
That's now.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah. And then from there, that's when everything unraveled. Mom, I guess she just couldn't take no more of it. Whatever, it was just too much pressure. And they and mind you, they were already going at it, like typical parents arguing money, bills, this and that. They were already going through stuff. Mm-hmm. So that being said, it's just like I think it was just too much for my mom, and she just left.
Wow.
She just left. And because at the age that I was, it was just kind of like, nah, I can't leave my dad like that.
Wow.
You know, he wasn't even settled at the hospital, nothing, but still trying to figure out how he was going to get taken care of. It's just like we were taking care of him. So it's just like he worked, took care of us, you know, but then like in high school now, it was like the roles reversed. So we're taking care of him. And it wasn't like no regular taking care of. It was just like, nah, we're taking care of him. Like, we gotta wash him,
like a
clean him,
caregiver. Yeah.
Bowel care.
Everything.
And So when I say all this, mind you, I told you my mom left.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't talked to my mom for years.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't talk to my mom for years because of that. The relationship just wasn't there. I was angry because I didn't like, you know, and it also made me look at relationships a whole different way because of that situation.
For sure. I could imagine, bro.
Yeah. It made me, it was, yeah. And it was crazy because my dad is miserable. He don't feel like he's less than a man. He's not because he can't do nothing. Paralyzed. So you could only imagine the stuff that's going through his head or anyone that goes through something.
For sure,
like that.
bro. Especially coming from a person that has been independent, and then you get into a accident, and now you have to become dependent on people.
Yo, listen, I don't even think it was the fact that he was dependent on people. It was the fact that someone you marry, that you trust in, through sickness, through health, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And she just leaves. So it's just like, in my eyes, that's how I looked at it, and I'm just like, nah, for years. Listen, when I say I didn't talk to my mom for years, like, we might have talked, said, hey, but nah, the relationship was not there. I didn't talk to my mom, man. And mind you, I was in high school. I went in the Army, and that was one of the things that pushed me to leave home and go in the Army.
Okay.
Man, left. I didn't really have a relationship with my mom until my dad passed away.
Wow.
And my dad was, and I'm talking, he passed away in 2016. You know, I did talk to my mom, communicate with her, like when my son was born.
Yeah.
You know, we kind of started, but it wasn't like that. But I didn't really, like, as far as a mother and son relationship, not until my dad passed. And what was crazy, my dad passed on her birthday.
Wow.
So it's just like, man, I'll never forget. I made my mom cry. I was just like, man, it's crazy that dad passed away on your birthday. I was like, my whole life growing up, you know, you hurt him.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, he was hurt. But the crazy thing is they had already mended their relationship, whatever. They were friends, cool, whatever. But for me, nah, it was trauma because I look at so much stuff that happened to me. Mind you, I told you I'm divorced. But I started looking at stuff that happened that led up to my divorce, and I'm just sitting there like, I didn't realize how much what was going on between them, how it affected me.
For sure,
I'm thinking
man.
I was trying to do better, but nah, it was never addressed as a kid.
Hey, bro, let me tell you something, man. Your upbringing has so much to do with the person that you are as an adult. Like, it's almost like crazy, man. It's out of this world how the effect that it has on you, right? And you don't realize it sometimes until you go through situations, right?
Yeah.
And I always say this, bro. I always say your personal opinion comes from your personal experiences, right?
Absolutely.
And like you say, because of what I saw my mom do to my dad or what I saw them go through, that was helping shape your identity of a relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're like, man, I don't know about this one, man.
Yo, and it's funny that you say it like that because, you know, they always say you always end up like say, if it's a boy, a son, he always tend to get a wife that's like his mom.
Yes.
You know, vice versa. If it was a girl, she normally someone that's like her dad. The crazy thing is, I was married to, I thought I married someone that was completely opposite because I was just like, I hated everything about my mom. But I married someone just like her.
Really, man?
That was the crazy thing. And it's like, I didn't, like, you know, as you go through the years, you know, so you don't realize it until stuff started happening. Like, man, you know, you just like
I was going to say, when did you realize it? Did you realize it when y'all was on your way out of the marriage, or did you know it while you was in the marriage?
I think I knew it when I was in the marriage, but it was like one of those things because you try to fight so hard to try to prove a point to everyone that you're like my dad, we used to have conversations, and he used to, like, I guess there's little things that he saw within our marriage that he used to tell me stuff, but I used to snap back at him. I was like, man, I'm nothing like you, man.
Yeah.
You know, your marriage failed. I said, what you, and I told him,
yo, your marriage failed.
Listen, I used to be like, I should tell him like, nah, man, your marriage failed. I said, man, and quite frankly, you should be trying to tell me you should be proud of me because I'm not trying to be like you and mom, how y'all were. You know.
Yeah.
Me and my dad had like, we were like this. But the crazy thing was, man, it's so much backstory that I'm leaving out. But the crazy thing is, I tell everyone this story about my dad. I was like, listen, my dad used to run the streets.
Okay.
You know, so which was one of the issues that him and my mom had while they were going back and forth before his accident.
Okay.
I told my dad, I said, you ever think that the reason why God put you in your situation that you is to keep you still?
Wow.
And then, you know, he was like, you know what? Yeah. He said, yeah. Because he said, I looked, and he told me, he was very open. Like, my dad was always brewed down. He was like, nah, I look at the stuff that I did. And he was like, yeah.
Wow. That's major, bro. That's
you know,
major.
like, you know, like, God will give you signs. He'll keep giving you signs, keep giving you signs. Like, all right, I'm gonna give you what you want.
That's right.
I'm gonna give you exactly what you want. You know, but then there's a time too when he's trying to give you signs. You don't want to. All right.
Yeah.
Keep doing. Don't worry. I know how to.
Yeah.
I know how to sit
then
you
it's
down.
too late. Really sit you down.
Yeah.
Really sit you down, man. That's crazy. Hey, D, do you think? How do you think your upbringing, like, helped shape your decision making as an adult? And I guess that's right back to what you were just saying, like, because of what you went through as an adult, you were saying, like, I'm going to stay in this marriage because I'm going to stay married.
Yeah. So, how I thought before is nothing like I think. I don't think nothing like it because I went through it.
Okay.
No matter how much I try to fight it, and it's like one of those things, like I say, God try to give you signs or whatever.
Okay.
And you keep going against it. You know, and eventually he's like, all right, I'm gonna give you what
Did you realize you was more like your dad than you thought you were?
Yes and no. No, I say yes because the way he slowed, like, you know, he had nothing but time on his hand, couldn't do nothing. So yes, because I learned patience from my dad.
Wow.
That's like one of the biggest things, and I didn't have that growing up.
And that's a big thing to learn, bro.
Yeah. And the one thing, my dad had no choice but to have patience, because where you gonna go, what you gonna do?
That's right.
You know, he was, and the crazy thing is he became like a self-efficient person. You know, even being in a wheelchair, was able to drive everything. But the crazy thing
He almost had to reprogram his mind, man.
But he was still, like patient. He was so patient with stuff. But he had no choice but to be patient.
Yeah.
Even like when we talk, it'd be times like I'll snap on, like not even snap, but it's just like I wasn't trying to hear nothing he said, but he was patient, and he'll call, I'll pick up, and you know, and then he'll revisit the conversation again and say, hey, I understand what you were saying. But he was real patient with me, and I wasn't a patient person, but I became patient.
You learned patience.
I learned patience after going through,
Yeah.
you know, my divorce. My divorce was nasty, man. It
Wow.
was nasty. You know, and we talked before, and I shared with you, like, dealing with my son, you know, getting locked up, you know, her, my ex-wife, you know, using him as a weapon towards me, using the system. So it was like one of those things. I definitely learned how to be patient, and then I had to learn patience with him. Like, you know, talking to him even now, it just like I just had patience when I like let me listen to him.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes I may be wrong. I don't got all the answers, but I listen to make sure I'm clearly understanding on what it is that he's going through, because I definitely don't want to get to the point to where I push him away.
For sure.
So yeah,
For
absolutely.
Sure, man. And patience, man, that's something that, bro, that's a gift. That's a gift from God when you learn patience, man. It's like that's, you know, that works in so many different realms of your life. You know, everything in your life, you know, revolves around patience, man. AD, do you see any similarities, man, in the way that you raise your kids and the way that you was raised?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when my dad, before he got into his ass, he ruled with an iron fist.
Okay.
Like, no, it's what I say is either my way or the highway.
For sure.
Nah, I got whoopings. No, like, it wasn't like no, I'm going to say a country.
Yeah.
switches, extension cords. You know, it was kind, and it was crazy. The way I was brought up was not the same like it was for my sisters.
Okay. Now, who's
dad-
the oldest?
I have an older sister.
Okay.
She's like, I think right now she's like 49, no 48. She just had a baby too.
Okay.
Miracle, we call it miracle baby because, like, you know, when you get to that
Yeah, for
age,
sure,
so,
man. Congratulations,
you know,
man.
Yeah, I got a niece, a new niece, so I'm happy about that. And I got a younger sister. She's a year younger than me. And then my brother, I have a younger brother. I'm like 13. I got 13 years on him. Like, he's a baby. Like, it's a big difference.
Wow,
age between
yeah.
us. So, nah, absolutely not in the same way I did with my son. But the way I did it wasn't right.
You mean the way you raised them wasn't right?
Well, my tactics wasn't right. Just because
Okay.
my dad did it with me, I did it with my son.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it wasn't right, but at the same time, I was learning, and it's like, you know, I learned how to talk more. Like my dad before, he didn't do that with me. He whooped my ass, and it's just like go.
Wasn't no talking. Yeah.
Wasn't no talking. It wasn't like no.
Yeah, it's great to go down.
Yeah. It wasn't no constructive criticism coming back afterwards. Like, hey, do you understand what you did wrong?
Yeah.
It just kind of like I just knew like not to do that again.
And you know the crazy thing is, man, that we all have, you know, similar stories about, you know, the way we was raised and, you know, having a dad and dad ruling. But most of the time, your parents, they're doing the best they can mentally to raise you, right? And a lot of times they're going off the way they was raised, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like so many things. But let me ask you this too, to go along with that, bro. Are there any things that, any parenting that your parents done that you chose not to do when it came to your kids? You said, I'm not doing that.
Nah, I did it.
You did exactly the way they did it.
I did exactly the way they did.
Wow.
But also too, it wasn't just my parents. Like, remember I told you,
It was
I
the
grew
whole
up in
village.
a village.
Yeah.
Like, trust me, it wasn't just. Nah, if it wasn't my dad doing it, discipline, it was my uncles, or it was my aunt, or if I'm at school and they couldn't, because my dad drove trucks.
Okay.
He wasn't home a lot. You know, my mom, she worked at Burger King. She worked a lot of night shifts, so it was a lot of times they couldn't even get in touch with my mom. Guess who they call her auntie?
Aunts, uncles,
Yeah, they call him the pastor from church.
Yeah.
That's how I grew up. Everyone, same church, everything, everyone knew everyone. Nah, man, it's just like, yeah.
I got you. I got
Margaret
you.
from up the road,
Yeah.
trust me, I got it from her too.
For sure, man.
You know, so it's just like one of those things, man. Nah, everyone looked out for each other and raised everyone.
That's right.
All the kids together.
That's right.
Man.
Everybody on the same page, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure enough, man. Hey, D, you say you've been married and divorced, and you have 2 children, right? Which role do you believe comes easier to you? The role as a husband or a role as a father?
Which one comes
Easier to you?
To be honest with you, definitely a father, because I'm still a father now.
Okay.
I used to think it was a husband, but obviously I'm divorced, so
Yeah.
something went wrong along the way. But then again, you know.
But that don't mean that it couldn't be easier to you.
No.
I mean, it
being a
definitely could have
husband
been.
was easier because
Yeah.
when you think about it, you can't. You know what I'm saying? I'm a great husband. I love everything about being a husband. I say it now.
Okay.
You know, but at the same time, you know, maybe your significant other or the other. Sometimes people just, for whatever the reason may be, they just fall out of love or something.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that I wasn't the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, sometimes people they get distracted and eyes is on the prize on something else, man.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
for sure.
and they find out sometimes the grass isn't always green on the other side. So for me, it was both. Like I said, husband, yes. Father, yes.
Gotcha.
You know,
So you feel like both of those roles come pretty easy to you?
to me, yeah.
Yeah. And I guess another thing too, you had a lot of great examples because you grew up family oriented. You
Right.
had a whole you had families around you.
Yeah.
You know, you had a whole village. So you got to see firsthand what a husband looked like and what a father looked like. You know, you got to see both of those examples.
And I saw it in different households. I had friends, you know, I had some friends' parents, like single parents, but then, you know, same thing, like they mother and father was in the same house together.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw it. It was crazy because being that I grew up that way, I meet guys and I just be like, they be like, nah, man, they don't know who they pops is. Only knew their mom, just their mom and their sisters or brother with her. I said, for real? And then I don't know nothing but, like, I just know, I know a village.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like to grow up in a neighborhood, like in a suburb neighborhood, and it's just you and your household.
Yeah.
I've never, like, to me, I'm just like, man, I don't know.
So, look, I always joke about this, man, that I felt like we was kind of sheltered, right? So it was me, my mom and dad had 8 kids, had 8 children together, right?
Wow.
So 8 children, my mom and dad, that's 10 of us in the house, right?
Yeah.
And that's all we knew. That's all we knew. That's the only life that we knew. So like we young in like elementary school, and we would go to school and, you know, kids like, yeah, man, I'm going with my dad this weekend. And we like, that's crazy. Why your dad don't live with you? You know, because we were so blind to the fact that everybody mother and father doesn't live with them. Yeah. But we didn't know that because in our house, everybody was there.
Yeah, everyone ate dinner together, everything. Yeah. You know, and it was crazy. I used to go to some friend's house, and I'd be like, man, you get to eat in the living room?
Yeah. You eat by yourself? You go in your room
you
and
get
eat?
To bring a drink. No, man, you ain't bring a drink out that kitchen if you want.
That's right.
That's how I go, man. But I was just like, man, but it was crazy. My brother grew up like that. So he didn't grow up like we did.
Mm-hmm. Because he was so many years behind y'all.
So much, and he was with my mom.
And the family dynamic had changed.
Absolutely. If my brother was sitting right here right now, like, you could tell just from the way he sounds, talk, you be like, yeah, y'all brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah, we brothers, but it's just like, nah, we grew, it was totally different era. Yeah,
night and day.
Coming up, yeah.
Man, I can dig that, bro. Yeah. I definitely can dig it, man. Hey, do you know, as men, man, a lot of people say that we're natural providers and protectors, right? Mm-hmm. Which one of those roles come easier to you? Being a provider or being a protector?
Both. Like I said, my upbringing was a little different, man.
Yeah.
I can't say different. I'm saying for me, the way I was brought up,
you had to be both.
But once again, I told you, like, I was like I had sisters. Mm-hmm. And no, even though we grew up, and mind you, when I say village, I had cousins and stuff too. Mm-hmm. No, listen. As a boy growing up in my family, no, you were not raised like the girls. Girls they were way more. As a boy, you get up in the morning.
Certain things you had to do.
Like, I had to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't you getting up in the morning, you're gonna go, you gotta do this, gotta feed. I did chicken, hogs, all that. It's crazy. People say, what? I'm like, nah, I did all that. Cut grass. Yeah. All that. I did it all. So
you know, it's crazy. My dad raised hogs too, man.
Yeah. So it just kind of like, to me, it is like, no, I had to do these were my chores. Like, I used to think it was man, I used to think, man, it was abuse.
For real?
Yeah.
It's like, man, this is unfair.
But you know what's crazy? That's what built my work ethic up to where I'm at, like, to what I do now.
Of course, brother.
You know, so as being a provider, protector, to me, because the way I grew up in my village, one, I'm very overprotective when it comes to my family.
Okay.
Anyone in my family, especially women, aunts, cousins, my sisters, my younger cousin, I am very protective. To this day, at my 46, I'm very protective.
Yeah. You don't want to see anybody mistreat them or do them wrong.
Look, who was that? Listen, man, we could be, I sent a video to my sister one day, yesterday, actually. It was a video I saw. It was a funeral. You know how people carry the caskets and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then the dude was like, hold on, who's this? It's like, you know, because he was
this guy?
There, who's this guy right here carrying the casket?
Yeah.
And everyone was like, yo, come on. Nah, who's this guy right here? But that's how that's you. So protective, because he's like, I don't know who this is.
Yeah.
You know, but that's how I am. So even when I was married, nah, man.